And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player, representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you can get your Gamba going. Whew. And we're able to feature our new map. Again, Persephone, I say new map. Persephone has been featured quite a lot. We have it in our own weekly tournaments as well, like Sparkling Tunic Cup and Tenacious Total Tussle. So it's one of the more favored or one of the more popular of the TLMC maps. I believe he got top 2 or top 3 in the overall TLMC standings, and it's great to see it here again. It's quite popular amongst the players. When it comes to the features of this map, would you have the goal base on the right hand side, covered here by just non-stop speed zones towards the top side, bottom side, and left hand side as well, so speed zones all around. We have the healing pad, which we have finally seen used once already. Once so far. I think Clem used it like last week. So there's a healing pad that's also available, which can factor in. The healing pad is a little bit more unique because, as you can see, these purple kind of blockers in the air are air blockers. This means that sky units like Oracles, Phoenixes, Medevacs, they cannot use the healing pad. Only ground units can. So that's a way to balance this out a little bit. Like, imagine PvZ with Oracles like topping themselves up. Like, that'd be insane. So only for ground units. Likewise, the rush distance by ground is very direct here on Persephone. That is gonna factor in as well, I'm sure. For now, hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Rogue, going for the unnatural natural, forced to expand in a little bit of a more uncomfortable way. At the same time, SKillous across the map, going for his own standard opener as well. Pylon is in position. We're set up for a Stargate opener. Again, typically, if it's a Twilight Council, we do hide the pylon a little bit further back in the main base to make it more difficult to scout. Based on its positioning, it should be a Stargate. There we go, Stargate is on the way. From here, SKillous, he has a couple of options. He can go for an Oracle-based opener. He can go Void Ray as well. There are some quirky builds that can make use of a Phoenix opener, but for the most part, Oracles and Void Rays are a little bit more commonplace. So we'll see where SKillous takes us. As the first adept does move out across the map. Now, this isn't really designed to get damage done, more so to scout, to get a read on what's going on, to make sure that there's saturation, that there's droning happening. SKillous does move in. Rogue likewise just droning. He's got a couple of safety links on the way, nothing major. Adepts, they do scout the main. And he confirms no extra gases, no lair. So far, everything looking normal. Oracle is in production. It's going to be Oracle first, not Void Ray. As he does pull away. Does a healing pad work on Vikings on ground mode? It should. There's no reason not to, right? It's only limiting like healing from the skies. So if you can get to the ground, then you can be topped up. I think the better question actually, does this stop a Colossus from interacting with the healing pad? I think it does stop it. I think if the Colossus tries to, because of the air blocker, I think that technically blocks the Colossus. So that is something that I believe is an interaction that I want to see. but I think this does block Colossus. I think they're too tall, man. They're too tall. Meanwhile, Lings, they do get across the map. Oh, going for the adepts. They get one. They get one. They get 2 adepts, and they're gonna get all 3. Very nice pickups here. Ay ay ay. Yeah, Lings, they pop off, going for a pylon as well. Oracle out of position, racing back home. And this has been worth it here for Rogue. Did not delay the expansion, but does at least deny these adepts. And this also means that there are less adepts to counterattack, and Rogue is more free to drone up and be greedy and saturate. So Rogue is droning as we speak, saturating his third base. Oracles are moving out. So far, how many? 2 Oracles in total. One is busy back at home. SKillous trying to be active. Technically, your name is on with Hello, Moja. Hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? GG, papi, GG. It's okay. We ignore the Twitch chat GMs. Don't worry about it. It's okay, Pappy. It's okay. GG. But now though, Oracles, they dive into the corner of the map. So far looking for a cancel, looking for a denial. Third Oracle gets activated, and it looks like we will force a cancel. Nicely done. Base is denied. Likewise, the Depth threatening to shade here towards that third. We'll see if Rogue can keep up. Bearing in mind, he has not replaced his lings. We have 16 lings on the way, but they're not ready yet. And then they do bust in, and drone's going to be going down. 3 drones already. Oh my god. 3 drones already. Very nice damage. Gets 3 workers. And then they do threaten to shade here into the natural. They will commit. More drones going down. And this is adding up. Oracles are going to be deflected. So far, 8 drone kills. Very nice damage. And again, Rogue, he was caught off guard. I don't blame him. If you recall, something that I had assumed, because Rogue had killed 3 adepts early on, we just assumed that maybe wouldn't warp in additional adepts, wouldn't replace them, and that he'd be safe to drone up. Safe to drone, safe to skip his lings. Alas, he was not. So Rogue, he was punished. Lings, they put back in. Don't quite bust into the natural. They're trying to, though. Stalker taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. But there's a recall, and we do have a secondary wall, just barely. Oh my god. Barely not. Yeah, Lings get surrounded, and one Stalker will get picked up. Blink is not ready. And these trades are brutal here. There's just something about Rogue. Time and time again, we saw 3 adepts killed earlier, and now we see 3 Stalkers. Very nice damage with these Lings, and we get a full scout as well. And Rogue, he confirms no Colossus, it's going to be a Storm follow-up instead. Temple Archive, Storm, additional upgrades. Blink about to finish. Meanwhile, SKillous trying to be active. He was able to deny the expansion earlier, and we do see Rogue double expanding. Lack of 4th base is slowing Rogue down. He's being slowed down, but the tech is still going on. Hive is on the way. We do have the Lurker Den as well. Getting into Lunker tech, getting to Hive tech. And this is where Rogue really thrives, whether it's against Protoss or against Terran as well. Rogue, he's very fond of rushing and getting into Lurker tech and slowing the game down and making use of Nidus Worms from there. That's where Rogue can really thrive, with those Nidus Worms, with those Lurkers. He's getting to that point. SKillous up. Does pick up a couple of Hydras, nice blinks. SKillous, he pulls away. Does pull away in time. Gets Revelation up. Just poking, catching out more Hydras, nice pickups. Leaves that one Stalker, gets another Hydra. Behind this 4th base on the way, Rogue is being kept busy. No Ling run by. No counterattack. But Rogue is still taking up. Ooh. Status goes off. Nice down here on the Lings. SKillous, he can maintain this position. But Lunker production has begun. The Hive is complete. Hive upgrades are on the way. Rogue, he's reaching his final form. Now, as Rogue is getting into Lunker tech, what is SKillous doing? Getting into Sky Toss. Fleet Beacon is done. 2nd Stargate going to Mass Tempest. SKillous is building up. Likewise, so is Rogue. Spire is on the way. Rogue has yet to confirm, but he is taking nonetheless. He knows he got scouted. Things are moving in. This time, SKillous, he's ready for it. Things they don't get much done. Nice revelation. Lurker gets targeted down. There's 1 Lurker left. There were only 2 Lunkers. Oracles get targeted down. Zelsay coming from behind. And that Lurker is exposed, and it does fall. Yeah, 1 final volley. Now it's purely Ling Hydra, and Rogue gets to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. Does pull back. SKillous defends. Behind this, Tempest is slowly building up. +1 air attack, +2. He's got a splash damage. SKillous, he's holding on. Gaining map control. Behind this, 0 Lurkers ready. Just purely Ling Hydra. Where are the Lunkers, Pappy? What's going on? Okay, SKillous doesn't push. He doesn't move out. Just reinforcing, consolidating his army. I am still quite concerned here about lack of Lurkers. Rogue is vulnerable. But so far, maintains himself. Getting into Corruptors. Saturating, getting up to 90 drones. Yeah, that's a lot of drones. It's a massive economy. Once again, the skills moves out. We do see Rogue attempting a run by, buying more time. Here we go. Lurker production has now begun once again. Back into Lunkers. He's getting there. As both armies are maxing out. Rogue just building up more lurkers, more corruptors. SKillous poking in, but he has no way to reinforce himself. SKillous just pushing up to the edge of creep. Shouldn't be committing. Oh, as he moves out, Lings they move in once again. And not the first time. So far, good response, but a recall is forced. And SKillous, he turns around. And again, these Lings are not really dealing any critical damage, but they're forcing SKillous back home. They're delaying the push. They are delaying SKillous. Bearing in mind, recall was just used. It's on cooldown. And Rogue is going for another counterattack. Oh. Running into the main army. A mothership gets spotted. He wants it. It does want the mothership. Nice repositioning. Very nice catch. Yeah, slows down on the corruptors. SKillous, he keeps up. So far, so good. Whew. SKillous is keeping up. When it comes to our main armies, both players are maxing out. We've got 4 Tempests, the Mothership. We have 9 High Templar. That's going to be a lot of Storms available. So a lot of Storms here for SKillous. But he doesn't have many Immortals. The lack of Immortals, the lack of a robust ground army is a little bit concerning considering just how many Lurkers there are. So Storms are good, but it means nothing if we can't get close to the ground army. Okay, that's going to be 13 Lurkers. We have the Bay on the way. That should be for Disruptors. Or, I guess, a couple of complementary Colossus, question mark. He's on 1 Robo. 3. Okay, no, never mind. Triple Robo production. His army is split. Just keeping the main army busy. Corruptors going for the dive. And here come the slow zone once again. Storms coming in. Corruptors, they will go for the Tempest. They get 1. 1 Tempest goes down. Oh my god. Yeah, Storms on the Overseers, but alas, Corruptors, they overwhelm the air army. The Skytops does crumble. Lings, they bust into the midline. They force a defensive warp in. Skills pushing in. And the main armies, they, almost pass by each other. Lurkers, they split off. Cells take it to the mineral line. This feels a little bit risky here from SKillous. Pushing forward. No detection. He has to back up. He has to get the hell out of here. SKillous pulling back for now. Observer has arrived. Okay. He has the Observer. He can try to surround this. Yeah, these Lurkers are exposed. They're going to get surrounded. Where's the support? Every Lurker goes down. Massive pick off. Rogue overextends. Rogue, he's in trouble. He's remaxing here with 23 Hydras, but how many Lurkers does he have? 0. 0 Lurkers for Rogue. Send that baby. Keep going. SKillous moving in. We have 7 Lurkers in production, but they're still in production. Prism does go down. No more reinforcements. Lurkers are almost ready. SKillous taking a little bit too long. Lurkers, yeah, they morph in just in time. Catching 1 Lurker. But again, we have 7 Lurkers ready for this. Army moves in. Observer just got sniped. Tempests are exposed. Once they try to respond. And again, Rogue, he does barely hold on. Again, the Lurkers, they morphed in just in time. SKillous, he was being a little bit too careful, a little bit too tentative when it came to moving in. Once again, both players max out. SKillous going for the gold. Rogue going for the production. Oh. Gets a Nexus. Not bad. Should force a cancel. Oh, that was a kill. Yeah, that was a kill, not a cancel. Rogue moving out. Does move out, likewise. Does move out on the right-hand side as well. The goal base is going to be denied. SKillous is out of position. The base is going to go down. And SKillous pushes just right down mid instead. And it was really out of position. Where the lurkers, we have Ling Rama on the left, lurkers on the right. Army's moving in. There are some lurkers that defend. That's a lot of immortals. That's how many? 12. Ooh, they take a lot of hits though. Yeah, they take a lot of splash damage. Lurkers are going down. The immortals, they put in a lot of work. But it's still another wave of lurkers. And no detection. Yeah, 0 detection is here. No observer, no oracle, no revelation, and everything's just going to go down. Massive pickoff here. SKillous, he plummets in supply. And SKillous, it doesn't really have much of a bank either. Oof. Warpin finishes, and he's getting some damage done, but alas, Rogue, he's already looking to remax. Takes down the Zealots. Takes down the reinforcements. Tempest rallying in. And this is the army. This is SKillous' army. 1 Tempest, 3 Immortals. Ay, ay, ay. Unfortunately, he just had no detection and he was pulled apart. Though definitely some really good moments here for SKillous. Definitely. But barely not going to be enough. As Rogue, he's remaxed. He's moving out. 12 lurkers on the way. It's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult here for SKillous to hold on. Lankers, they're moving in. Storm's trying to buy some time. But Rogue, he will overwhelm. Moving forward, this time we do have detection, but it's too little too late. It's interesting that for the past couple of fights, these corruptors, their one goal has been to snipe the observers, as they're doing right now. It's just been snipe the observers one after the other. And GG gets called. Lurkers are overwhelming. Rogue, he will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Rogue, he will take a lead. Again, a very intense back and forth. SKillous definitely had some strong moments here in this game, but alas, Rogue, he was able to persevere, able to buy time, able to build back up. Reality is that Rogue, his economy was for the most part untouched, so he was able to maintain those losses and maintain those trades. SKillous less so. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2. Going to be loading into Maganatha. We go. Did about making Tempest versus no Broods. The Tempest, they had their place, especially against the Hydra Lurker based composition, 100%. Like they had their place, like leading into the later stages of the game. I will not fault SKillous for that at all. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganatha, we do have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg. Leading the series 1-0, representing Team Falcons, it is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, it is SKillous. Here we go. Are you familiar with this map? Yes, this is Maganatha. This is made by a very, very infamous map maker. I believe Hyper One made this map. SMH, my head. Oh no. I mean, this is a really old map. If you know anything about Hyper One or Maganatha, I think this map was made a couple of years ago. I don't think it was ever submitted, or maybe this is a resubmission into TLMC. I was very surprised to see it make it through, but we've castled in this map a couple of times before. This is a tribute, I believe, to Magnath. Magnath. This name was kind of in his honor, question mark, and it's also a tribute to Jagannatha as well. And likewise, there's a lot of rocks. There's rocks all over the place. We got speed zones, we got rocks, we got towers, we got rocks, we got more rocks. We heard you like rocks, so we put rocks on your rocks, and that's Maganatha. That's God damn it. This map is by Hopper. True, by Hopper One, not Hyper One. He is the superior map maker. True. SMH. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. So yeah, shockingly, this map did make it into the top 10 or top 20 of TLMC. It's crazy. No, but so for those who are curious, this is a larger map. It's a larger macro map. As I mentioned, there are a lot of towers and rocks that you can knock down and you can bring down to kind of morph and to adjust or terraform even the map itself. You even have here, for example, you can knock down this tower, you can destroy the center of Zelnaga, you can deny access to the goal base, you can destroy even the goal base if it gets taken. I mean, there's a lot going on here, for sure. And yeah, it's been a while. It's been a year, maybe more than that, since I've castled a Maganatha. I castled it a little bit when it came to the TLMC. And I don't know if any adjustments have been made since it was first created. So we'll see. We'll see how players do dive into this. It's catching up in the map. Rogue uses a similar style against Marine, waiting forever with building units. As I mentioned before, Rogue, he does have a very unique style and a very distinct style that he does enjoy in ZVP and in ZVT, which is kind of like being the defending player and taking up into lurker tech. Last game, yes, we saw some Ling run-bys, but that's all we really saw. We never really saw any big move-outs or big committed engagements from Rogue until he got into lurker tech. That's typically how he approaches this. As we load into a larger map, I would assume that he will do the same thing here as well. It is something that he's quite fond of, I should say. Likewise, I would imagine it's going to be a little bit less intense. Last game there was a lot of aggression going on, especially from the side of SKillous, when it came to SKillous' move-outs and his aggression. Here, the game may slow down. Third base is being taken. Earlier Twilight Council out of SKillous, but we have, oh, no Forge. Interesting. Now, this could be one of two things. This could be early Blink, or it could be early Glaives. Early Blink would be a little bit odd to me. I mean, we'll see what SKillous goes for. We have seen some players go for early Blink and go for a Gateway Explosion, skip their gases at the third base, and turn this into an 8-gate 3-base all-in. Otherwise, this is usually a bit of a safe opener if it's going to be Blink, as it will keep you safe against something like a Roach-based all-in. But there it is. This is more standard. It's going to be Glaive Adepts. Let's go. So Glaives here from SKillous. Now it's going to be Stargate into Glaives. Now the goal here, ideally, hopefully, is that your opponent believes you're playing standard and they skip their Roach Warren. Now we can see that Rogue, he isn't cutting any corners. He does go for a safety Roach Warren, so he will have the tools to defend instead of going purely Ling into Hydra, which I believe is what Rogue did in the previous game. Likewise, nice SimCity here, so Rogue, he can wall this area off if there were to be Glaive Adepts. The first steps reveal themselves, but this is normal, this is standard. Seeing 4 to 5 adepts here at this stage of the game is as it should be. And SKillous, he should be banking adepts back at home and getting ready to move out. Overlord Scout coming in from from Rogue. Trying to get a read on what's happening. Now, as a reminder, this is not an all-in. From here, you do transition into a longer game state, into saturation. But again, this is designed to catch your opponent off guard and get some cheeky damage early on before taking you up. Now, the reality here is that if we don't get enough damage done, then the Protoss player will fall behind, as this is a big commitment here. That's a lot of adepts. Adepts say shade in, Roach is still in production. Mining is going to be denied. And Rogue, he should be getting ready to wall off. A couple of Roaches do go down. At the same time, Ling Runback comes in. Oh no! Oh, Ling's a bust into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. SKillous, he's in trouble here. Does shade, but last the wall is solid, and SKillous, he does not get into the natural. Ay. As that's going to be 12. 12 workers go down. That is too much damage. The Stalker's going to be falling as well. SKillous, he turns back around. He's racing back home. This is getting out of hand. Again, SKillous was just not ready, not expecting something like a Link counterattack. Not like this. It gets dealt with, and now SKillous, he falls behind. Lost 12 workers. He doesn't get much damage across the map. Checking the install sap here. He got 2 drones. He's now getting 3 up to 4. That's a little bit better here, but still not enough. And remember, as a reminder, this build from SKillous, it means that Blink is late. It means that +1 is delayed as well, like your tech, your upgrades, your saturation, all is delayed in favor of Glaive Adepts, and it wasn't worth it. Now, what I will say is that SKillous, he still has the adepts. Like, it's not like they were thrown away or they were killed. True, like, he still has them, so he still has potential to get some value, but he needs to. Right now, there's a lot of pressure on SKillous to get some damage done with these adepts. Shading into the third. Doesn't quite commit. That's one, gets 2 more drones. Again, that is something, but this is where Rogue can get comfortable. Now, something that I mentioned before is that Rogue, he's known for being more defensive and more turtly, at least taking in towards lurker tech. But things are a little bit... no, never mind. I was about to say that because he's working on 1-1 and because of Rogue's current advantage, like, he can just look to drone up to like 3.5 bases and then just max out and push with Roach Ravager. And he could, but he's not. Again, Rogue is doing what he does best. He's going to just be ticking. He's just going to tech. He's just going to tech up into Hive, into Lurker tech as well, into maxed out Hydra Lurker Viper. Or just Hydra Lurker, really. So again, this is what Rogue is known for. And again, he does have the option, if he wanted to try to max out on Roach Ravager and to take advantage of his lead, but is opting not to. I mean, I guess you could argue that the map itself is not really conducive to a counterattack just because it's so large, but it does mean that SKillous is going to be given time to recover. It's not going to be easy, but SKillous, because of the passivity here of Rogue, it means that SKillous, he can take a 4th base, he can take up into Sky Toss, he can try to turtle up as well. Now the problem with that is, oh, we do see a couple has a couple soldiers to go down, but the problem here is just how large the map is and how open some of these bases are. You could argue that this 3rd base is a little bit more secure, but there is an area in between the bases here, in between the 3rd and the 4th, and likewise the 4th base is a little more wide open, going to be a little more difficult to defend. Speaking of, Rogue is moving in. He moves in with his Roach Hydra. He will knock down the expansion. And SKillous, he can't stop him. He cannot stop him. The base is going to fall. Adept safe on the counterattack. Rogue moving in. Not the most amazing storm here. Better storm on the road. Oh my god. That does stand in the storms. Tempests are on the way. If they do shade into the minimize, they trade against Lings. Good trades here from SKillous, but alas, slaps to Cybercore. Cybercore goes down. He also scattered, was researching. Rogue, he is aware of the Sky Toss. And SKillous, he will hold, but Rogue didn't have to kill. All Rogue needed was to deny the base. Deny the 4th base. That's all that was necessary. Rogue pulls away. Hive upgrades almost done. And we're getting to the lurkers. We're almost there. Oh. Tempest getting called out. Tempest getting called out. Cat Temple moving in. Right, Storm does zone. Storm zones away, and Rogue, he does overextend here. Again, he's just trickling out some units. He should be pulling back, consolidating, and getting into his lurker-based army. So Rogue is getting punished. A better moment here for SKillous, but merely only a moment. He still needs that 4th base. Still needs the 4th expansion. Base data is funky. Middle base seems easily abused by Tempest. Yeah, I mean, it can be. I mean, whether it's Tempest or any siege-based units, like Broodlords as well. But for the most part, this center expansion is what, like the 6th base? Yeah, this is the 6th expansion. So by this point, like Rogue, he's already gaining map control. He's knocking down the rocks. Lings, they do hit the left-hand side. SKillous out of position. Another mineral line going to be going down. We'll see if SKillous does respond in time. As he rotates to the left, you see Hydra's getting ready on the right. No lurkers morphing in for the time being. We have the Corruptors, or I should say Aspire, on the way here for Rogue, and Rogue is still looking very comfortable. Again, he denied the 4th base earlier. The 5th base is now on the way for SKillous. SKillous, he's still trying to stabilize. Now, he is on the road to recovery, and the reality is that if Rogue is passive, then SKillous, he can catch up, but Rogue isn't being passive. He's moving in once again, this time with his Hydras. Oof, we'll take a storm to the... Oh god, Jesus, he stands in the storms! does stand in the storms, but he can afford to. He can afford to stand in the storms regardless. Does not pull away. Lurkers moving in on the right hand side. They're going for the expansion. And you can see how spread out these bases are here. The third, the fourth, the fifth base, very spread out. Very difficult for Skills to rotate between them. To rotate between the bases. Nexus does fall. Moving in. Someone saying if we this, did that to talents? No, he has it. And all the lurker upgrades are researched, so do not forget. Lurker's moving in, and you can see that Skillous is just being torn apart here. Skillous trying to keep up, they'll split up his army. Oh, alas, is lacking detection. And GG gets called. Roki will tear him apart, and Roki will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Game 1 was a little more close, was a little more back and forth and a little more intense. Game 2, a little bit more one-sided, but a lot of it did come down to the opener of Skillous. Winding it back, if you recall... Oh,